Hi everyone, I'm Bhavana and this is Rimore on Air. This is episode 2 and I have Denise with me. I and Denise have worked together like 5, 6 years ago
Hmm.
and that was just wonderful and I think we connected because of our love for travel. And yeah, so I'll let Denise introduce herself and tell us a little bit more about what kind of traveler is she. And yeah, over to you.
Right. My name is Denise Aquino. As Bhavna mentioned, we worked together on a project many, many years ago. But we definitely enjoyed talking about our travel, escapades, especially the not so common ones, I think. So yeah, I'm looking forward to this sort of interview or podcast. Yeah.
Yeah, so how would you, what kind of a traveler would you define yourself? Do you like to go to the off beaten places, to the regular cities? What do you like when you travel?
So I like going to places that resonates with me.
Right.
So, when I was younger, I used to watch a lot of documentaries about certain things. And now that I'm older, I finally have the time and the money to, like, I am trying to explore more of those places. So one of those places is actually Yugoslavia or the former Yugoslavia. And right now they're separate countries, right?
Right.
So this year, for my graduation, as my gift to myself, I actually went to Serbia and I also
Okay.
went to Montenegro. And people were
Okay.
asking me, like, why? Like, why aren't you going to the, Madrid or Lisbon or, more popular places? But like, I'm drawn to the experience
Right.
that I almost had like watching those videos growing up and documentaries and stories. And now, just experiencing it, the food, the culture. And even though they're not very popular places, at least for
Hmm.
Filipinos, I really enjoy exploring.
Right. So, can you tell me a little bit about one of your documentary, which is your like favorite ones that you watched while you were growing up, and how did you actually find it when you actually visited that place?
It was so surreal. One of those documentaries is not really very positive because it was about a war right, that
Okay.
recently happened, I think, in 1990s, them breaking up. And I was very much intrigued about the fact that how can these different countries and different cultures like work and, just be together for many,
Mm-hmm.
many years, right? So when I went to Montenegro and Serbia, it was just like what I imagined. The food is great, the colors everywhere. You know, if you've been to Montenegro and could also in, I think, Sveti Stefan, they have, really nice nature and beaches.
Yeah.
It was fascinating. I almost cried when I saw the old town because I imagined it so many times before.
Happened there? Like, what's the story like?
So I went there as a reward to myself. Because
No,
like
what's the story of the place? Like,
of the place.
what was
Okay.
it in the yeah?
The documentary was about a war, Bhavna, and them splitting and them sort of like finding their own kind of identity again after being together for.
So were the people affected? Like a lot?
Yes, a lot of people were affected. A lot of people were kind of, impacted in a negative way, but seeing how their culture, flourished afterwards,
Yeah.
I think I kind of felt what they were fighting for.
Okay. So you kind of agree with the whatever happened, and you like what happened.
No, not really. I am totally against war, but I
Of course.
understand certain things need to happen or,
Yeah.
people make decisions, right? So, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's about it's about people, and it's not about countries. It's about those individual people who decide to go on war.
Yeah,
Obviously, war is not the best in the world.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Another place that I love going
Yeah.
to is Estonia, the Baltic region. So I
Right.
like going to Estonia, I like going to Latvia. My favorite city in the world is Tartu. So I studied there for my master's. And it's not a very popular place, right? I don't think
Yeah.
a lot of people are aware of it and sort of wanting it to be that way
Yeah.
because I love the place so much.
Yeah.
And it's funny because before this recording, I was actually booking my flights for December. So I'm going back to Tartu.
Nice.
And I don't know why, but it really resonates with me. The place is quiet, it's peaceful, fresh
Mhm.
air. You can walk, you feel safe. Everything works. So that's one of the, things that I really, really like, especially coming from the Philippines, right? Wherein
Yeah.
infrastructure is not amazing. So
Yeah.
having that fantastic. And also when I was there, I didn't feel like the rush of things. I didn't need to
Right.
be anywhere right away. If I
Right.
needed to go somewhere, transportation is very convenient. I can walk.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And just that beauty, the
Yeah.
simpleness is, special to me.
So yeah, I know that you plan your travels well in advance, right?
I'm a planner, yes.
Yes, you're a planner. So
Yeah.
tell me about some of the tools that you use and how do you do it? It's one thing about, applying for the leaves, but it's another thing where you know that, okay, this is what I'm going to do, right? So how do you go about it? When do you when did you actually start thinking that, okay, I need to start planning so much and not doing it in a haphazard manner?
I'm a planner in general,
Mm-hmm.
so I like having milestones every year.
Right.
And being in a corporate setting, i
Mm-hmm.
i need to plan in advance as well, so that my work won't get disrupted. And I also like the fact that little by little I'm ticking off checklists,
Yeah.
this, right? The tasks,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
There's sort of fulfillment in
Yeah.
doing that, I have 10 steps in order for me to get to my destination. And just having those and being closer to it builds up the excitement so much
Mm.
more. And it, for me, for example, like going to Tartu, it's not going to be easy. There's no direct flights. I'm going to transfer a couple of times. So it's very important for me to plan.
Right. And what are the tools that you use? Can you tell us about some tools?
Actually, I'm a bargain hunter when it comes to flights. So, and
Okay.
I'm also not scared to try out new airlines.
Okay.
So some of the tools that I have are just the common tools like Kayak, Trip.com, Google
Yeah.
Flights, Agoda. But I also challenge myself into looking at more local places. So
Right.
homestays maybe sometimes, especially when I go to Tartu, I don't stay at hotels. I stay at, Airbnbs, which is more, for me, it feels more natural that I live there.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Right. And I also keep seeing your stories where you post about that you're gonna go to the I think you're making a world map somewhere, right? I remember seeing
Yeah.
your what's that about?
It's Pangea. It's an app actually wherein you can track, like, what's your next travel, where have you been, where do you want to go. So
Uh-huh.
I just enjoy something visual. Right. So, like having that, and I'm like, oh, I've only been to like 12% of the world. Like, there's a long way to go, Denise. You can push yourself and visit more. But also, I don't just wanna visit for a day. I really wanna
Yeah.
experience, the
Yeah.
culture. And sometimes it's a luxury, right? Because
Yeah.
for me specifically, like, time is very limited for me.
Yeah.
So I have to be very smart about how I use it. So, for example, I'm going to Tartu this December. I'm
Yeah.
not gonna go to a lot of other places, but I'm also going to go to Lithuania for the first time. So the
Yeah.
three Baltic states I'll be able to visit. So Latvia, Riga is one of my favorite, places because they're very lively, and
Yeah.
it's very positive. Estonia, obviously, because I have my sister in Estonia
Yeah.
and I studied in Tartu, and now I'm going to visit Vilnius in
Yeah.
Lithuania, so I'm looking forward to that. I heard the food is
Yeah.
good, and
It's very pretty.
okay, all right.
Yeah.
I think you should be giving me tips, right?
Well, it was long ago, but I think Vilnius is very pretty. Like, it's very quiet, very pretty, very safe, and cheap compared to the other European cities that you'll see.
Makes me more excited, but I'm gonna connect with you after this so I can I can get more tips.
Yeah. So, okay. So you said you're like checking things off. So can you tell me some numbers that you've ticked off, or like how many places have you been to? How many are still left in the list?
You just check the app. And this is very convenient now. I can show
See?
you also, if can show you how it looks like. If you give me a moment, if that's okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
If I share this, so I don't know if you can see it, but
I
it's
can do
like,
it.
yeah, it's a map of the world. So I've been to 36 countries now.
Cool.
Four continents and 83 places, so basically 83 cities already.
Not
So
bad.
yeah, not bad. This year I went to Singapore for work. Brunei, I don't know if you've been to Brunei. It's not a
I
very,
haven't, but I've heard. Sure, a
yeah,
small place.
yeah. So
Nice.
these are the past trips. I went to Warsaw this year and obviously Tartu for my.
That is so cool. So, what are your top five cultural picks? Do you go for culture, right? If I'm not wrong.
When you say cultural picks, that's kind of hard to answer.
Okay.
What do you have in mind?
How do the people of that city conduct themselves, right? Like, for example, if I were to compare cultures between Thailand and Dubai, like they're very stark.
I'm gonna get in trouble if I start sharing about people. Generally, I think there are nations that are more friendly, and
Yeah.
there are countries that are more reserved. I appreciate both because
Yeah.
I have different moods, right? And
Yeah.
there are days that I just want to be alone. And
Yeah.
if you don't, initiate small talk with me, I'll be so grateful. Thank you. And that's my experience in Estonia, and
Right.
also, but also, whenever I go to like Thailand or
Mm.
Indonesia or, places in Southeast Asia, we are so good with service
Yeah.
and they're very attentive. So I
Yeah.
truly appreciate that.
Yeah. But you gotta tell me your top five cities that you've been to before you go for sure.
Top five cities that I've been to. Oh, it's hard. I wasn't expecting to be asked about this. I really like number one is always gonna be Tartu.
Yeah,
So
of course.
yeah, sorry. Number two probably is Kotor because it's so magical in Montenegro. So it's,
Yeah.
really, really beautiful for me.
Mm-hmm.
Three, I like Riga because it's so
Right.
alive
Yeah.
and it's not very expensive, and the city is very vibrant.
Mm-hmm.
Four might be super hard. I like Dubai because of family.
Okay.
Associate family with
Yeah.
Dubai because I have my nieces there. And whenever I go, all of these fancy places doesn't really matter. It's
Yeah.
just, the feeling of home, right?
Yeah.
Milan used to be my favorite.
Right.
But when we were talking, Milan was, one of those cities that I
Yeah.
always go back to. But things change. We also mature. We see other
Yeah.
places, right? But still, I picture myself from time to time like eating in gelato somewhere near Domo, and just people
Yeah.
watch.
Right. So nice. So yeah, so all the best for your tattoo that's coming up. I know you're very excited.
Yes.
I'm excited for you too.
Yeah.
Waiting to see all the pictures from there. And yeah, have fun.
Thank you, Bhavna.
All right.